Living History, World War II stories as told by those who were there.
And today we have the honor and the privilege of hearing the story of Corporal Harry Hutsell. Corporal Hutsell was a U.S. Marine Corps machine gun squad leader with the 2nd Marine Division, seeing action on the island of Guadalcanal.
The division formed up very rapidly, and I say very rapidly, in a matter of weeks. It took us 21 days to go to New Zealand, and we were there about a week, and they turned right around and took us up to Guadalcanal to relieve. And then by September 15th, we were on Guadalcanal. The reason it was invaded is they discovered they were building a Henderson field, and apparently the admirals who were running the South Pacific thing and MacArthur, who couldn't get along with anybody, were in a fight over it. He wanted to go right back to the Philippines, and walk ashore and get wet. But what was the great line? With the help of God and a few Marines, MacArthur retook the Philippines. That was always my favorite saying. But at Guadalcanal, we pretty much spent the rest of that year till after Thanksgiving just pushing them down to the end. They had several landings. They brought in renewed guys, especially a real crack outfit on a truck, and they were a handful. Strangely enough, we didn't lose a ton of guys there, not the mass numbers. We lost guys every day. Awful lot of guys wounded rather than killed, because we didn't let them get that close to us. We kept them back at several hundred yards, and you got to be a pretty good shot to take some guy out in that way. I had a 12-man machine gun squad. We replaced, the first time we replaced 3 guys, second time we replaced 4 guys. We lost 7 people out of it.
Tell me your feelings when your first combat experience, or talk about that a little bit, and what was going through your mind.
Basically frightened, not sure what I was. All of a sudden, you're not sure what you ought to be doing. The inconsistency of freshmen, and the situation there was that all the guys were awfully raw. We were all raw. We didn't understand their infiltration. They could come through us. They could darn near walk beside you, and a lot of them spoke English. And you'd give a apple, and they'd say orange. You didn't see them paying attention to them. And sometimes we woke up in the mornings it was about as many behind us as we had in front of us. So our first actions were always to the rear. And then when we took care of that, then we'd do it, and we'd advance 100 yards and set up the line of fire. And it was just kind of push. No great tactics, just go until everybody gets killed, and then don't go.
How about any of these bonsai charges? How close did they get to you?
Well, right in front of us on the one, the machine gun kept them from getting to us because you were sweeping, and when you swept here, there's still more coming, because they just kept on coming, wave after wave after wave, and we literally had to kick them out of in front of our sandbags so that we could have a field of fire. Too close. You could tell when they were coming, because they got all hopped up on sake, right, and their utensils were banging together, etc. Oh, they're coming tonight, guys. We know they're coming. And the funny thing was the dialogue between us. After dark, and you're sitting there, and because we didn't want to fight after dark. After we'd been there for a while, this is crazy. Let's do 9 to 5. We'll start about 9 after you've eaten and we've eaten, and they kind of went along with that for a while. And when they got to the point where they're being pushed off the island, they got very fierce. And they always hollered the same thing: "Screw Babe Ruth." I always supposed that they thought that was the only hero we had. And then, of course, we had the constant feedback from Tokyo Rose. She came on every night at 6 o'clock, and everybody tuned in to listen. He said, "We want to welcome the boys from the 6th Regiment, A Company, on the far beach at Guadalcanal. You boys will be meeting up with the Manchurian Special Troops tonight." we really ran out of food there. We were eating rice out of their sandbags. All their sandbags were rice bags. And I can't look at rice today. I just can't even look at it. And about the time we got to the end of the island, which would have been about December 15th of 42, the Army came in and relieved us. We'd done what we were supposed to do, and they came in to relieve us.